Yes, we are in downtown Joliet, and yes, it's Tuesday, and yes, it's a once-a-month event that takes place all summer long. Oh, you missed those. But coming up, we have more, because today, tonight, this evening, right now, is the Illinois Rock and Roll's Guitars and Cars on Route 66 in downtown Joliet. And with me, Madam Vice President of the Illinois Rock and Roll Board, Debbie Jo.
Nice to meet with you again. Good to see you, Richard.
Great to meet you.
Yeah.
And she wears many hats. It has been a long time, and too long, and we're not going to do that anymore.
No.
Every other Tuesday we'll meet.
Okay.
Right here. Better what
right here, right. Same
what your husband
station.
says or my wife says, we're going to be right here.
Okay.
Well, tell me about, first of all, ever so briefly, but beautifully, tell me about the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum.
The Illinois Rock and Roll Museum is located at 9 West Cass Street. We are not yet open to the public, but getting there very quickly. And in the meantime, we're doing events like this to help support the downtown businesses in Joliet and help build on the economic development of the restaurants down here, bringing attention to everything that is downtown Joliet. And because there's so much going on now, if you haven't been down here recently, you really need to take a drive down and experience some of the new restaurants that are opening. The library has just undergone a fabulous renovation. They're going to be celebrating a new grand opening. We've got the Joliet Historical Museum with an outdoor Route 66 interactive sculpture there. Speaking of sculptures, we were awarded $80,000 to do a sculpture on the exterior of our building, and so we just had to go through some city ordinances because we were a little over the signage allowance, and that was voted upon unanimously. So we called immediately when we walked out of that meeting, and it's like, hey, we are a go. We are definitely in production now. So what you're going to see on the outside of that building is a 2.5-story guitar. So it's go big or go home type of thing. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go big, but we're not going home.
That's right.
Yeah, we're going to bring it downtown.
And what we want to do now, for the folks who are here, but for you folks, we're going to give you a website so that you can support the museum and have a lot of fun doing it with some great merchandise. And we're going to take a little bit of a sales pitch here if we can. And if you hold up that T-shirt and kind of tell the folks a bit about it.
This is a new design that we came out with. So, of course, Illinois is all about Abe Lincoln. So what better than to have Abe with his little headset on and he's listening to the music. And a mispronunciation of Illinois is, some people would say it's Illinois. Well, yes, we're going to capitalize on that. We are now bringing the noise back to Illinois. So that's hence the promotion with this particular T-shirt. So not only the T-shirts, but we have things like, of course, cars and guitars. So we've got the little guitars, keychains, and an abundance of other little promos and things on our website that you can go to. And it's roadtorock.org.
Great. And we'll put that on the screen as well. And now, since you're not here right now, we want to tell you about our next Guitars and Cars here in downtown Joliet. It takes place in September, and just look at the teleprompter over there and let the folks know what the date is.
It is September 27th. The parking lot here will open at 3 o'clock for the cars to pull in. It's a $10 registration, and then the actual car show and entertainment, which you can hear in the background, starts at 5 o'clock and runs until 8 o'clock. We do car awards, so if you want to bring your car down, if you like to get those awards. And also to the first 50 participants, there will be a dash plaque that will be given away that are each, there's a series of 3, so that'll be our last one. But we're going to have a raffle for a couple of the complete series, and then a raffle for some other things. We really want to pull the last one out as no bars stopped. We're really going to pull out all of everything that we can to really produce a good show and have a lot of additional vendors. And to mention some of our vendors, we've got a Hot Wheels, the little miniatures cars here that are selling, and they go very well. But just try and get some of the other vendors and businesses in downtown Joliet here so that everyone knows what's going on in downtown Joliet, like Audiophiles, which is vinyl is the correct word now, I guess, is what instead of records, right around the corner from us, and some other things that are going on downtown.
Yep, new restaurants opening up almost monthly downtown. We've got 2 new restaurants, and I'm not going to tell you the names of them. You get down here and discover them for yourself. And for next September, when you come down here, for those of you with cars, remember there's plenty of room. All of Chicago Street, all of Van Buren, both parking lots can be filled with your vehicle, and prizes to win, raffles to participate in, all for the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum, and we'll have lots of vendors as well. So we're going to take time out now and go visit some of these people who've got their cars. And in the background, we have provided music for you with Tall Paul and Honky Tonkers. They're from everywhere. I think one guy drove up here from Decatur today. So we may get a chance to talk with them as well, but if not, that's who they are, and great country music. Every band we've had for these car shows has been superb. And so come on down, September, get the date down there, okay?
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Traveling all the way from Minooka, Illinois, via Channahon, and a little bit of a stopover in Morris, he is now in Joliet, and we'd like to welcome Tim Ivey. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Is this your first time here?
No, I come here every month when they have the car shows.
Good. We thank you for that, sir. Now, do you belong to a club?
Yes, member of the Rusty Nuts Car Club.
I've heard of those guys. I've heard of those guys.
They're kind of rusty.
In fact, I think there's one Rusty walking behind the camera there.
He's a pretty important guy, too.
All right. Well, Tim, give us a little virtual ride here in your. What would that be by any chance? That black mobile down there? What is that?
That's a 2003 Chevy Corvette 50th anniversary car.
Absolutely correct. For that, you've won an entire weekend in Rockdale.
That's great, man. I get to go to Sills or where?
Yeah, Sills. We'll both go.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's a good place.
Tell me about the history of the car, how it come about, and tell me a bit about it.
I bought the car about a year ago, and enjoying the heck out of it. It's been a lot of fun, and did a little custom things to it, small stuff. Just redid the interior, and just enjoying the car.
Great.
Go to 3 or 4 shows a week, and try and enjoy it.
Well, we're here at the Illinois Rock and Roll Cars and Guitars, and we told you about next month we'll have another one here. But what is your next car show that you're going to be in?
Wednesday night we go to Stone City VFW over in 53 in Laraway there by the racetrack.
Is it every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday night, yep.
How long will they do that?
Probably into October if the weather cooperates.
Well, the Farmer's Almanac said we're going to have a nice, seasonably warm fall.
Well, that'd be great.
So don't blame me. You find yourself a farmer out there.
That'll be good. That'll be good. We'll get some more fun.
You're going to get some great weather and good showtime. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye now. With the honky tonkers in our background, we're still going to talk to a guy who I remember from maybe it was 3 years ago because it was prior to the COVID thing.
Right.
But this is Rick Arabovich. Well, I got close. I know one thing, only one thing, and that's you're from Channahon.
Yes, I am from Channahon.
All right, we'll tell you that story later on. Now, back up just a little bit, and I want to make sure that he gets that engine in there as well. So tell me a bit about your car.
Well, it's a 1965 Chevelle. It's all original except for the paint job. That's the original 283 with 56,000 miles on it. It does have a Mopar interior. It's 4-speed. It's just a wonderful car. The color is Fresca Blue Mica Pearl.
Did you do that color yourself, or did you get it that way?
No, my friend Ken Becker built this car. He sold it to a friend of mine, and I bought it off of that guy. But I added all the chrome and stuff to it, make it look better. Update.
It doesn't look like the Chevelle that I owned at all.
I know. It's different.
It's a great looking car. Now, Tim says he goes to about 3 shows a week. How many shows do you? Is he also with the? Yeah, I think he is with the club.
Yes, he is, and I'm about just about every show that him and Dave are at.
And why?
Because we just like it. We're retired. It's something for us to do.
It is a great time to get together. And now, is there opportunity for people who may be watching right now, who have cars, who want to join the club?
Oh yeah, our club keeps growing more and more every year. I think we're up to 80 members now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic. And we have a picnic that is second to none, and a Christmas party that is out of this world. All for the members, you know, and paid for by our dues. We do great.
That's great. Well, we want to thank you for not only paying your dues, having a good time with your fellow Rusty Nutters, but also that you've contributed by being here today to the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. We thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Take care. And thanks to Tall Paul and the Honky Tonk guys for giving us some background music.
That's excellent.
We're with Ron Romero, President, Chairman of the Board, founder of Illinois Rock and Roll Museum, and you came up with this crazy idea of bringing cars to downtown Joliet, and not tonight, but he is capable and he is able to play guitar. So we're going to call this place Cars and Guitars. What do you think about that? Is that a pretty good idea?
Sure, why not? We could do that.
And then we'll bring in a country band called Tall Paul and the Honky Tonkers from everywhere, including Decatur, Illinois. Well, we got a little brief background and history on the museum from Debbie Jo, but tell me what's happening and when do you think we might possibly have that museum open?
A good question. There's a lot happening. We've got great community support. It's just a big project. We've come a long way on the inside of the building. And right now we're about to start putting in our new sign or sculpture, which is a very large guitar that'll go up to the third floor, and awnings, and we're starting to repair the outside of the building. So we could see some outward appearance changing going to happen in the next couple of months.
Yeah, now we didn't get a chance with Debbie Jo, but you can take us on a virtual tour, and then we might use some clips we have from prior tapings to show the folks what is new inside the museum right now, the first floor and the lower level.
Come visit us once a week and you'll see something new. There's always something going on. Of course, we've got the flooring in, we've got walls in, we've got new electric, we've got new lighting. Bathrooms is a project that we're just starting to work on the first floor. We just met with a company that's doing the granite for the bathrooms, for the countertops, and we're doing all sorts of renovation. So it's really coming along.
You have another aspect to the museum, and I don't think a lot of you folks know, and that is relationship and association with District 86.
Yeah, actually, with a lot of different venues, but or school districts and things. But we have an education facility inside the building itself, where we're going to teach instrumentation, also learning sound and lighting and all sorts of things. And we'll be bringing in some of the District 86 students to take some of the lessons in there and learn.
And just so I don't want you to miss this, you're not here now, obviously, but you have another event coming up right here, Cars and Guitars, and when is that?
Next one for Cars and Guitars, I believe, is it's going to be next month. It'll be the 27th, sorry. It's a Tuesday. Check our website for the exact date, which is, of course, roadtorock.org. And you'll get all the information on different events. And, of course, on September 10th, we're having our Wine and Jazz at Bicentennial Park, which we're really excited. We've got 3 bands playing there, including the Buddy Rich Orchestra. There's 16 members in that orchestra. So, yeah.
Buddy Rich, of course, great drummer. And thank you, sir. He's from the Rusty Nuts Club. Probably wanted to make sure that everybody, this guy is from the, he saw the camera. But Rao, I want to, on behalf of the community and Channel 6, thank you so much for what you do, what you're doing, and the excitement that you're bringing in, because when it opens, you'll have the prison, probably #1 attraction after Route 66. Then #2 will be the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. then the Historical Museum, and when it's got shows going, of course, the Queen, the Rialto Theater. So downtown Joliet is happening. Come on downtown. Both the Chamber and the City Center Partnership, as well as the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum, welcomes you. Thank you, sir.
And cut.
And do. All right, here's another fellow we found with a vehicle. I think they call this a yellow mobile. We'll find out what it really is. This is Chris Fritz, who happens to be a board member of the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. He is the man responsible for all the rules and regulations and policies and all the theories that go into the future of the club. And so if there's any complaints at all, look on the screen there. His home phone number will show up for you. Chris, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
I love the Schlitz shirt. It reminds me of the days when Dick Schuster used to take me into the bars in Rockdale when I was a little boy and give me a glass of Schlitz. Tell me about your car.
It's a 1996 Chevy Corvette. I just picked it up this summer. We've had it for about 3 months. My son's always wanted one. I've wanted one since I was 16 years old, and he said, I want the car with the 2 flags on the back. And I'm like, you're 14. No, I can't do that. So he's 21 now, and we went on it together, and so we've got it, and we're enjoying it this summer.
Great. Now tell the folks what the meaning of 2 flags in the back of that.
I have no idea. I'm new to owning a Vette.
So you want to know more about this? Chris will be here next September, and by that time he'll do the research. You'll look for this. What you call this thing again?
Actually, it's competition yellow Corvette. I checked on that. Somebody else asked.
It's an absolute beauty, and we're going to take a close-up, and we're going to continue with meeting some more of the folks who are here for the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum benefit, Cars and Guitars in downtown Joliet, and you are personally invited to come on down in September, and the date will be on the, right there on the screen. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Chris, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we are downtown Joliet, and yes, my name is Richard Fredrickson, and yes, you're watching Channel 6, and yes, there are more car shows coming your way in September, benefiting the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. We want to thank this couple because they're probably going to be the lucky couple who could win all kinds of stuff here this evening at the I guess this is called the Rialto parking deck. If it's not, it should be. And all kinds of things happening in downtown Joliet. So check the Chamber's website and the Joliet City Center Partnership. And let's see, we have John and Stephanie Conway. First of all, John, in case I say anything bad, I can say you shook my hand. And Stephanie, nice meeting you. So, where are you folks from?
We're from Joliet.
From Joliet, all right. And how many of these crazy car shows do you come to?
All of them. As many as possible.
As many as possible, all right. Well, how many times have you been to this one?
This is the first time to this one.
Really?
Yes.
Well, welcome. Let's see, this is what month? August. So July, for whatever reason, it was packed. I mean, Chicago Street, the whole 9 yards. So a few people took a little bit of a respite, but the big time will be in September, I'm sure. So tell me a bit about the history of your car.
Well, it's a 2010 Chevy Camaro that last year we went down to Bowling Green, Kentucky to purchase because we wanted a southern car without all the Illinois salt and rain and nasty snow, because our intentions were to do a Trans Am conversion. So we took this 2010 Camaro SS RS LS3 and converted it to a modern day Trans Am. As we all know, in 2002, Pontiac halted manufacturing of the Trans Am. So us older guys who are still Trans Am fans and wanted to carry on the tradition, took the Camaros and converted them into Trans Am clones, if you will.
Yeah, I thought so. It's a great history and a great job you've done. How's the ride in this so-called Trans Am?
Very nice.
Is it?
Yes.
What do you like best about this car?
That it's more modernized, it's a nice smooth ride, and it's fun.
I thought you'd say
And very
the best thing I like about this car, she would say, it's ours.
That too.
That too, right?
Yes.
Well, how many, let's see, you're going to be here next September, I hope. What's your next car show plan on your strategy right now?
Next September, here.
Okay. It's good to have you. And Joliet, have you been downtown except for this? Any other?
Many other things.
Yeah. We have more things happening downtown than in the history of downtown this year, 2022. We got rid of that pandemic stuff. People are coming out for everything, and we thank you two for taking time out. We love your chairs, and we love your car, and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck. Hi, everybody. Once again, we're interviewing folks here at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum's benefit, and it's Cars and Guitars. Way in the background, you're going to hear some music. That's by Tall Paul and the Honky Tonkers from everywhere. I think Decatur and places like that. And we thank them. And we thank you for watching, but we also want to invite you to September's car show, which will be on the screen there for you to check out. And right now we have Kathy and Jim Stearns, who are here with their car. We're going to get a little history of their car, then a close-up look at their car. But Kathy, why in the world would you let him do that?
I don't know. He just begs and pleads for this Camaro, so I had to give it to him. So we bought it a couple of years ago.
Finally, I found an honest woman who actually said what she really means. You know, I've talked to these wives. Well, you know, I really like this car. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know you do. I know you do. So tell me about the history, Jim, of the car.
Well, I bought it a few years ago. We were helping a relative buy a car over at Bettenhausen Motors in Tinley, and this little girl was sitting out there, and it was just like a love story. But you know, years ago, my uncle had a Camaro, and I messed up and didn't buy it from him after he passed away, and I've regretted it ever since. So this is kind of my, you know, substitution, I would guess. But you know, it's just.
So what year is it?
It's a 2011.
Okay. 2011, and we're going to take a close look up at this car. And next time you can join the Stearns here in downtown Joliet, either come by and look or bring your vehicle. I think what they charge is $10, and it all goes to Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. Okay? See you next time. We got more people to talk to, so don't go away. Traveling all the way from Joliet, Illinois, to downtown Joliet, which he's never been to, and he's looking at all the things that are happening down here. Not really. Mr. Giacomi.
How you doing, sir?
Very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you as well.
It's great. Look at this guy's smile. It's $1 million smile going with his $1 million car. Tell me about your car.
It's a 1989 convertible Corvette with a 5.7 liter V8 Hemi, or excuse me, not a Hemi. I work at Tyson, so the Hemi, that's where I get that, used to saying that. But it's an 89 convertible. It used to be my father's, and now it's passed down to me.
So it's great history. Well, I was going to ask you where you bought it, but it's in the family.
Yes, sir.
And when did your dad buy it? New?
He bought it off of a previous owner, but he had it for 15 years as well.
Okay. All right. And how long have you had it?
I've had it for 3 years now.
It's absolutely beautiful. 1989 Corvette. The engine, we'll take a close-up look at that as well. And I was kidding before, but you are from Joliet, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On the west side.
On the west side. On the west side of Joliet. Let's see. Let me think where you'd be. Way out west or just a little bit out west?
Near the intersection of Jefferson and Larkin Avenue.
Ah, I gotcha. You're the guy. You're the guy in the corner with the bag and the sign.
Yes, sir. Yeah, they're all my buddies out there.
You got the franchise.
Yeah.
You're a smart man. Figure out how to do that. Yeah. No, I don't mean that. Some of those people need the help and support. So you're here talking about help and support with the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum. Are you looking forward to their opening, which is within a couple of months?
Yes, sir. I'm very interested in going and visiting, seeing how well they do.
You'll be surprised. As a matter of fact, you get a hold of Ron Romero, who's the founder. Anytime you want to come in, you can come in the door and take a sneak peek and see what's happening there, because a lot of fantastic progress has been made, and they've got a new grant which will put up, I don't know how big a thing is. We'll look at that sign that's to my right. The guitar that's going up on that wall is about the same size, not width-wise, but height-wise. And we're pretty excited about all the things happening with the museum and with the kids that they're going to be teaching musicology to, and the rehearsals, the stage is set, the exhibits are in, and we're just about ready to open up. So, again, thank you so much. Thanks
for visiting.
It's great visiting you.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
great.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Well, we take a break. We're going to hear from the Rusty Nuts car show, and they're the ones that put this on here tonight. And they have a special announcement and an award to present to someone tonight. Let's hear it for the Rusty Nuts guitar folks, power folks.
Can I all the Rusty Nut members up here, please? All the Rusty Nut members. Come on. Rocky, I think you got a card in your pocket too. Doug? Yeah, come on, Jerry. You're part of this. You're part of this mess. Linda? You're part of this mess too. Ron Romero. Larry Williams. Debbie Joe Erickson Carroll, or Carol Erickson. And any other of the board members from the Rock and Roll Museum. Come on, all the way. Who are we missing from the board? Anybody? What do you got, about 4 or 5 guys here? Okay. Randy, come on up here.
Randy King, I don't know if he's still here.
Here comes Scott. Here comes Chris. Here comes Patty.
What are we doing?
Richard too? All right, good. Come on up here. Don't step on nothing. Yeah, you'll be playing music. You'll drown out the mic with the music. As Tall Paul said, Paul Mall, Tall Paul. Yeah. In case you don't know it, look for the tall guy. We're the Rusty Nuts. We are 90 members strong, and we helped the Rock and Roll Museum put this show on for the last 4 months. And we got 1 more month to go too. I can't thank you all enough for coming out and showing up and helping support the Rock and Roll Museum. So Ron and Debbie and Larry and whoever else is on the bus, Scott and Richard, on behalf of the Rusty Nuts Club, we would like to present you with a little gift. Hand-painted guitar with the logos on it for the Cars and Guitar Show. It also has the Rusty Nuts logo on it and their logo. And one of our good friends, Mike Zielinski, who happened to show up tonight, who's here, Mike also painted the bowling pin. If you were here a couple shows ago, Mike did that also. Yeah, Mike's here. He's hiding behind the lamp pole over there. Come on, Mike. Come on.
Let's give Mike a real round of applause.
If you guys need some pinstriping done, see that guy and some lettering. He's the man.
Well, we thought we'd bring the cars, and now we brought the guitar. So, now we'd like Santa.
I want to say thank you to everybody that's come out here. This is our 4th, and we have one more coming up after this. We appreciate the help from the cart clubs, especially the Rusty Nuts. It is a cart club, not a condition, Rusty Nuts. We want to say thank you to everybody for coming out and supporting the museum. We've invited everybody also, you know, we're not quite open yet, but we'd like to invite you to come down and take a look and show you the progress at the museum. Come down sometime, give us a call, let us know you're coming down, and we'll give you the nickel tour. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. I got the case over there. It does play. So, you want to get yes, I do. So give yourself a round of applause, and everybody, thank you.